Whoa, what happened to the old theme music? Why does it run too long, man? I wanted the beat to kick in, you know, but now we're in copyright infringement territory. Good day. Yeah. Hope Robert Smith isn't listening right now.
Oh boy. What episode number is this? Do you even know?
152?
152? I think it's 152. I think you're right. Want to double check. It should be.
What's
up, everybody?
It better be.
Yeah, it's 152. Well, it's kind of a free-for-all episode, but it's mostly a top 5 episode. I'm sure there's some other things to talk about, too.
Most top 5 episodes wind up being free-for-alls.
Yeah.
We got to fill that space, you know?
Yeah, man. We want to try and keep it close to an hour.
We don't want to rip off the fans.
We don't want to rip them off. Okay, so to reveal what that's going to be, so Toy Fair is next week, or a week from now, 9 days from now, something like that. Not this weekend, but the weekend after. And so we are probably not going to do a lot of Toy Fair talk after Toy Fair, especially since we'll be about a week removed from Toy Fair when we record again.
Everything will be out there.
Everything will be out there. Won't be a big deal. Everyone will know what's going on. So we thought it would be fun to do a top 5 list of dream lines that we wish would be revealed at Toy Fair. And the companies we wish were doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's the top 5 for today. But before we get into that, is there some stuff you want to talk about current events-wise?
Current events? No, sir.
Pop culture.
Oh.
In the world of a pop world.
A pop world. As I was thinking about this, I realized that there is nothing that I want to see or am interested in.
This is going to be a horrible top 5 list then.
But not toy-wise.
Oh, okay.
Like movie-wise or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's also nothing that I don't want to see. Everything's kind of dry right now. I can't think of any new trailers that have come out that are worth mentioning.
Well, there was the Avengers Endgame spot during the big game. Because you can't...
I don't know about the big game.
I guess you can't say...
Are you serious?
Yeah, you can't say it now without paying for it. The Super Bowl.
The Super
Yeah,
Bowl. If they want to try and sue me, they can come get it from me.
Well, they may get sued now. They said that.
They can come get it from me.
I guess that's the thing.
You can't say the Super Bowl.
They're all calling it the big game spot.
That is
can't say.
Absurd.
It's ridiculous.
I will say what I like.
Of course. So there was an Avengers Endgame spot during that. It was like a 30-second spot. There was a couple new. Well, I guess it was all new. But you're not really keeping up too much
with the Super Bowl with
Avengers Endgame, are you?
No, I'm not.
You still haven't watched Infinity War, right?
I still haven't watched Infinity War.
It's on Netflix now, so you have no excuse.
I still haven't watched Civil War.
Man, you gotta get caught up, dude.
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War was really good.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Endgame. Like, this TV spot was pretty cool.
Maybe I'll see it one day.
It's pretty cool, man. Yeah. There's a whole...
How long is Infinity War? Like 3 hours?
It's like 2.5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
But Endgame, they're saying, is over 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's a big movie. I kind of have to ruin things to talk about the TV spots.
You can't ruin anything for me.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
You can't ruin it for me. You can't ruin it for me.
Oh, wait, I can't ruin it for you?
You can't ruin it.
Okay. Well, at the end of Infinity War...
Everybody dies.
Not everybody dies.
Most of the people die.
Half the people die.
Which half? I don't know.
You don't know. So it's kind of neat. The beginning of this TV spot is kind of dealing with that, like how the world would be if we lost half the population. And it's just quick snippets of the way things look now. And like Steve Rogers is doing this, like he's in this like support group thing, like kind of like Falcon does with veterans, like this veteran support group. And it's like, what do we do now that they're gone or something? And there's a voiceover talking about people get to move on, but not us. And then like there's different shots of different characters in the trailer. It doesn't tell you much. It's not giving you much. Just like the last trailer didn't give you much, which I'm happy about. I don't want to know a lot going into the movie. But I did like seeing that they're going to deal with that. Like, it's not just going to be, everything's the same. You lost half the population, but it's kind of the same. We just got to find the heroes. It's going to be the whole world has been decimated by...
Well, it's going to be the end game.
It is the end game.
Mm-hmm.
It was during the big game that they showed the trailer for the end game.
Right.
There's also a TV spot for Captain Marvel, but there was nothing in it that was really worth noting. I still don't know about Captain Marvel.
From what I'm reading, most people don't know about Captain Marvel. No, it sounds like a lot of people are really not impressed or not looking forward to it. And there's probably going to be a lot of people that do go ahead and see it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to still make a ton of money.
But as far as how good it is, I don't know. I mean, it could be one of those sleepers that
it could be.
Doesn't look good, and then all this it's just fantastic.
It's nothing against the character. It's just not a character I'm super interested in. I'm not saying it's a bad character. It's not something I'm super interested in. And the trailers just didn't seem. They don't seem exciting. They don't.
Yeah.
There's nothing grabbing me in the trailers for me to go, I need to see that.
Yeah.
Blaze did bring up a point, though, that it comes out in March, and then Avengers comes out in April. So if there's things in that movie that lead into Endgame, even though it's set in the 90s, that lead into the next movie, there's not going to be an opportunity to see it other than seeing it at the theater before Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in a spot where I'm like, do I need to see it before I see Avengers?
I'm going to guess that
just skip it.
That the answer is no. But
I'm going to guess the answer is no, but there may be stuff.
Speaking of that, I did see that Samuel L. Jackson is doing a new Shaft movie.
I saw that as well.
That's good.
Yeah, it's going to have.
I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer, but that's cool.
I watched the trailer. It was kind of interesting. So it's got Richard Roundtree, the original Shaft.
Nice.
It's got his Shaft.
Yeah.
And then it's got his son in this. So it's 3 generations of Shaft.
That's
together.
cool.
That's pretty cool. It came out of nowhere too. I didn't know that was coming.
I think he was the logical choice to play Shaft.
Yeah.
And I just like seeing that there's a new, because didn't they do a Shaft like last year, and it was a young whippersnapper, or was it?
I don't remember that.
Let me look this up because
I don't remember that at all.
Oh no, wait, it wasn't Shaft. It was shoot.
I know what you're talking about.
The guy was all suave looking. He looked like a little too.
Was that 24? The 24 reboot you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about,
because is that guy though? Is that actor? Because he was very suave looking.
I don't think it's the same guy. Yeah, I don't know. We can move on from this.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway,
I'm like, you lost me completely.
I like the Samuel L. Jackson's.
Yeah, the Samuel L. Jackson Shaft. That's cool. Okay, I'm moving on.
Move on.
NECA Turtles. Okay, so 2 things. So the cartoon Turtles that were exclusive, I think, to the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con, where they did the cartoon Turtle set, where it was the Turtles, 4 Turtles, and then Cartoon Shredder, Cartoon Krang, and 2 cartoon foot soldiers that were only going to be at San Diego Con. Well, there was they found a listing in Target's computer for the Comic Turtles 2-packs now. And I guess the lead singer of Coheed and Cambria, his wife, tweeted out a picture of their son playing with the Castle Grayskull and a Turtles 2-pack, an animated NECA Turtles 2-pack, with a thing saying, thank you from Randy at NECA Toys for sending over the Turtles. He loves them. The picture was up for a little bit, and then it got taken down, which leads everybody to believe that NECA asked them to take it down because it hasn't been shown yet. But basically, those Turtles that were exclusive to that convention are now going to be coming to stores. So it was an animated Michelangelo and animated Foot Soldier 2-pack. And I'm assuming that all 4 will be coming in 2-packs to Target, and not just Michelangelo Foot Soldier. It'll probably be another Turtle and another Foot Soldier, and then another Turtle and Krang, and then another Turtle and Shredder.
Krang.
And they're going to be $50 a piece. So this just goes to show everybody, don't always believe that when NECA tells you that's the only way you're going to get it. It's not always true.
They're doing it again.
But the first thing they did was the movie Turtles, and those have hit their street date now. They were always dated for February 6th from GameStop. They're starting to ship. People are picking them up. Big problem, though, is a lot of orders are being canceled.
In Little China.
Yeah, it's big trouble. Little China. So a lot of people are getting an email notification. Either they had them on pre-order for months saying your order has been canceled. And when people were reaching out to GameStop was replying, well, we took too many pre-orders. And so therefore we're having to cancel the pre-orders, which is crazy. That you have this pre-order for months and then you just cancel it the day it comes out, or a couple days before it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people that pre-ordered in store if they're being told that same thing.
Does it have too many pre-orders?
Yeah, they took too many pre-orders. That's what they told everybody.
Does they have a limited amount then?
I guess they only ordered so many from NECA to make, and then they took too many pre-orders. So there's something wrong.
What is the point of a pre-order if it doesn't tell you how many people want them?
Exactly. So,
hey, we have 1 million pre-orders. Maybe we should make 1 million instead of just 1,000.
Exactly. So they must have, I don't understand how the numbers got confused here. You know how many you've got. Only take enough pre-orders for that many. I don't think that anybody that went pre-ordered at GameStop, like physically in store and put down money, has walked away without a pre-order. I don't know for sure. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, there was one guy. I know Josh Pence, I think, had it in store and through the internet, and he went to pick up his in-store one, and it was canceled. So yeah, I guess some people are showing up at the stores being told it's canceled.
Wow. You should at least contact somebody with that instead of having them drive there.
Exactly. Some other people are showing up and they're only getting 2 of the 4 or something like that, where they've ordered all 4 and they say, well, all we got was Michelangelo and Leonardo. That's all we have.
That's
so now that's even worse because now you've got half the set.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and figure out how you're going to get the other 2. So people are reaching out to NECA and saying what's going on, and NECA saying, well, we made how many they ordered. That's what we made. And then he came back and said, well, they ordered more than what they had in pre-orders, which to me is crazy. Like, how would you know how many pre-orders they have? Because the pre-orders were still open for so long. I mean, there's got to be some manufacturing time involved here, and I don't think the pre-orders even closed until like the last couple months. So how did they know that they ordered more than they had pre-orders for? I don't understand where you would even know that. So then just today they've come back and said, GameStop made an announcement like the sales been great. Don't worry, more are coming to stores. It's the first shipment that's done, but more are coming to stores by the end of February. That's great, but what about all those pre-orders you canceled? So all those guys that had it on pre-order for months, or went to stores and pre-ordered them and then told that they're not going to get them, now do they have to try and get them again? Is that what the deal is? Why would you have canceled their orders then? Why wouldn't you just keep their orders if you knew more were coming?
Right.
It's very confusing. It seems like it's a big mess. There's a lot of angry people online because of it. But man, just what's going on with that? The whole Turtles thing in NECA.
Yeah.
And this feels like it's a GameStop problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just this whole thing of, we're not going to do it this way. We are going to do it this way. You're only going to get it this way. You're not going to get it this way. And now you've got it on pre-order, but you're not going to get it. And now you got to go to the store and get it, but you might not get it.
Surprise.
It's just, man, yikes.
That's a good way to
kind of a mess.
Lose some customers.
Yeah,
really,
totally. There was a company that was rude to me the other day online involved with the Turtles thing. And I'm not going to mention the company or their product because I feel it would be giving them promotion. And I don't want to give them any promotion. So yeah, I'm just not going to mention it. I will say that there was a company that's handling something, the 1990 Turtles. They were super rude and didn't need to be. Yep. And I won't promote them. I know that the show doesn't reach that many people, but there are other venues for things I do involved with Turtles, and I won't say a word about their product now. Yeah. So
they screwed the pooch.
Yeah, really dumb. Okay, so there was that. What you got?
Well,
what's this? Is this a tiny piece?
There's a tiny piece there. Yeah, get that.
Oh, yeah. That's good, man.
Pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah?
It's good.
Pretty good.
I'm chewing there. You're going to talk.
Yeah, I'm making my own vegan jerky.
That's good.
I'm not going to tell you what it's made out of. I told you what it's made out of. I'm not going to tell my secrets.
Don't.
But
you don't want any Johnny come lately making this.
No, it's not.
Know?
Yeah. I don't want any Johnny come lately getting on here.
That's good.
Here's an interesting thing. So Amy sometimes wants to watch easy movies, kind of. It's easy movies.
That reminds me of something. Keep going.
Oh, okay. So I'm always looking for something that isn't lame, that we're both interested in, that is also... So the 80s seems to kind of be a sweet spot because you can enjoy it, whatever. So the other night we watched Mannequin. And...
Mannequin 1 or Mannequin 2?
1.
Okay.
So here's the thing. The premise is absolutely stupid.
Oh, yeah.
It's so ridiculous. And... even watching the trailer, you kind of think like, this is dumb.
Anything can go in the 80s.
It's not even just dumb, but it's also a chick flick. That's what it feels like. And yet, when you get into it, there it is, and you're along for the ride. And they start off with the movie has heart. I realized like halfway through, I was like, this movie has a nice core to it. There's an actual story going on here. I mean, it opens up and it's ridiculous, right?
Oh, yeah.
But Kate Capshaw. No, not Kate Capshaw. Sorry. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. Her.
Yeah.
Now I can't think of it. I was just thinking, I can't believe you can't remember her name, and now I can't remember her name either.
I know.
And I'm not going to look it up either. That's cheating.
It'll come. It'll come. But she's gorgeous in it. Andrew McCarthy is funny in it, and they set up that he's an artist who is sculpting, and so there's this underlying theme in it of him sort of appreciating his art and wanting to create the best thing he can. And so I got to thinking, why is this working? Why could it work in the 80s? Why could it work in this decade when you could really throw anything out pretty much in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, I'm buying this.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, the mannequin comes to life once in a while, and only he can see her.
I am gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
It's killing me.
Don't do it. It's Oh
my gosh! I wish you would not have, because had you not messed it up, I wouldn't.
I know.
I would know it now.
I know. She's in Sex and the City also.
Yeah, and she was in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mannequin. She was a mannequin.
She was in that too. Oh my gosh!
Somebody's listening right now, and they're screaming at
us right now. We're gonna have to move past it.
We'll get it. But anyway, I think it's because for some reason, and I'm not saying that nobody does this now, but it was understood that a premise for the movie was not the story.
Yeah.
A premise for a story is not the story. So the premise is the mannequin comes to life, and only this guy can see her, and they have shenanigans in the department store. That's not the story. You come up with the premise, you set that aside, and then you write a story.
Yeah.
So very smart. It was very smartly told, even though it was just a stupid throwaway movie. So that's how they were treating stupid throwaway movies at the time, was still good. It's still It's still watchable somehow. So anyway, I'm not recommending that everybody goes out and
you should
rewatches Mannequin, but I don't know.
Maybe you should watch it.
If it was out, if it was out and it had a budget at the time, it was like, there's a good chance you can enjoy it.
And this reminds me of Mike came into the room the other day here at work, and he said, "I got an idea for a top 5." And I said, "Oh yeah, what do you got?" And he said, "Top 5 guy movies that your girl doesn't mind watching with you." Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I don't have any of those." and he was like, "What? There's no movies, like guy movies that Bobby will watch with you?" And I'm like, "No, there's none. I can't name a single one."
I thought you had told me about movies that you guys have watched together.
No, not at all. I've told you about movies that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Where she thinks of a movie and she doesn't know what the concept is, and she made up.
I remember
based on those things.
I remember that.
And so he's like, "Okay, well, what about just like top 5 movies that your girl doesn't mind watching with you, that she enjoys watching with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't have 5 of those either. I can't name 5 of those." And so he's like, "Okay," and I was like, I don't know if I can name 5 movies that Bobby has sat down and watched with me, just me.
Wow.
So we were having dinner the other night. I mean, Bobby doesn't really like to watch movies. She's not a big movie
TV
person.
show person.
She likes TV shows, but she doesn't really like that many movies. And so we sat down and tried to figure out 5 movies that the two of us have watched together, just us.
So I got you guys a date night, basically, by bringing this up.
Sort of. We were already on the date.
You have to spend time together.
And it was really hard, man, to come up with 5 movies that we had seen, just the two of us together. Not like a movie we saw in a big group of people, or a movie that we watched with the kids, or something like that. And it was tough, man. I think we eventually figured out 5 movies that we watched together one time. But it was tough.
But it's not ones that she necessarily likes.
No, it's not necessarily that she would like and watch again.
Yeah, it's just
but it's movies that she did sit down and watch, just me and her.
Huh.
Star Trek 2009 was one of them.
Okay.
I can't remember the other ones.
That's good enough.
I can't remember any. It was tough, man.
Yeah.
It was tough just coming up with 5 movies we watched together. It was very funny. Because I said it to her. I was like, "Yeah, Mike had this list of top 5 guy movies that your girl watches." And she's like, "There's none of those. I'm not watching those movies." And I'm like, "That's what I said." I'm like, "She's not watching any movies." It was very funny. So that's why that top 5 list doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because Mike's the only one that had 5. Yeah. What else you got? You got anything else?
Well, I let's see. I watched a little-known movie, again from the 80s, called Black Moon Rising.
Okay.
Written by John Carpenter. It's got Tommy Lee Jones and Linda Hamilton.
Okay.
It was... I can't say it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But pretty good. And just like one of those kind of hidden gems that if you're looking for
Where'd
something.
you see this at? Where'd you watch that?
I hunted it down and bought it.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't streaming or anything?
It wasn't streaming.
Okay.
But he's a thief and she's a thief, and they're both after this supercar that they have to steal, and they steal it.
Kim Cattrall.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Without looking it up.
I knew it had a K. And
you kept telling me with the Kate.
Yeah.
I kept thinking when I had his Kate. I was like, you know what? As you were talking, I was like, I've got to distance myself from this Kate.
Oh, man.
I got to get away from Kate.
That's such a relief. They come.
It's a load off.
It kept. I was getting close, but that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now you can keep saying what you were about the
Kim
movie.
Cattrall.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was kind of neat. It was kind of neat to have all those big names and see Linda Hamilton. Something that's not Terminator.
Yeah. Not Terminator brain.
But also action packed, and the action was pretty good. Pretty well choreographed, and
that's cool, man.
It's nice. So that was good. Except for one part, they drive the car through a building. Actually, I think Fast and Furious stole this from this movie.
Oh yeah,
where they're in a skyscraper.
They drive through one building into another building.
Yeah, there's a skyscraper, and they can't get out, so they have to go. And they use a miniature for the car breaking out, and it's really mini. You can tell that it's.
That's cool though.
It's not very well built.
I'm seeing that.
And you can tell it's just. Well, nobody can see my hands, but it's shot from below, and you're like, oh man, that's a. It's not like a 4-foot miniature.
It's like a road patrol car.
It's like a Matchbox car they try to use or something. It didn't. So anyway, of interest, could be worth looking into.
I got a couple of comic book things on here.
Okay, we'll talk comics.
First of all, Michael Avon Oeming has announced he's doing a Dick Tracy miniseries, a 4-issue miniseries. I guess the first IDW thing was actually a miniseries too, one that was written by the All Reds. This one is also a mini. I hope it's just set in the past Dick Tracy, because that's what in the 30s, even though it was somewhat interesting 40s. That first issue of Dick Tracy, I want something of Dick Tracy that's just set in the 20s and 30s, just set in the past.
Something that was confusing about that was that they still kept the kind of the styling.
Yeah, but there was a
characters
mix of time periods
and some of the cars.
But then they'd have like a cell phone or something.
Right. So the only reason to update the
internet
is so you can have the internet and cell phone.
Yeah, it was weird.
But that kind of negates the novelty of the watch.
That was strange. The mishmash of time periods. Yeah. Just make it set in the 20s and 30s. If you're doing something Dick Tracy, just set it back in the past. That's all you have to do. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that he's going to do that. And it's kind of neat to see a big name talent attached to it.
What I saw looked good.
I'm excited about it, and I think they're doing Kyle Baker, who did some of the Dick Tracy comics that came out around the movie. He's doing one of the variant covers, so it's kind of neat that they chose somebody that's already attached to something Dick Tracy from the past to do work on it. I thought that was kind of cool. The other comic thing is there's been a lot of talk about John Byrne doing an X-Men project.
Okay.
So John Byrne is one of the most famous X-Men comic artists of all time, and he's was part of the greatest run of X-Men comics between him and Chris Claremont with the new team, which Nightcrawler and Wolverine and Colossus and all that, the best run of X-Men. So somebody on his forums asked him, do you think you could ever go back and work at Marvel again? And he started thinking, to himself, could I do it again? Would I be able to, can I get back into those characters? Would I be able to pencil and have somebody else at Marvel inking? And how would I handle that? And what would I come back to do? And so he started thinking, well, I would like to come back to X-Men and kind of right a wrong. Back when they were doing X-Men, at the end of the Dark Phoenix saga, they were going to let Phoenix live, Scott stay with the team and all this stuff. And at the time, Jim Shooter, who was the editor, said, you can't do that. She's got to pay for the genocide of that planet. Dark Phoenix has to die. So they had to change the ending so that Dark Phoenix died. And that's one of the reasons, I believe, if I remember right, that John Byrne left the book, was editorial interfering. So he was done. And he said he would like to come back right then at issue 136. And what would have happened had we got to do what we wanted to do?
Oh.
And Phoenix lived, and just pick up right there. And Chris Claremont at one point came back to do X-Men. I mean, Chris Claremont still wrote X-Men for a long time. And he did a series called X-Men Forever, where he came back after he quit due to Bob Harris interfering. That was around the Jim Lee time, where the X-Men reboot, or the new comic came out. And he came back and did a story called X-Men Forever, where he left off. And so this is John Byrne leaving off, and not Chris Claremont writing, but him leaving off where he left, picking up at 136. Phoenix doesn't die. Scott doesn't leave the team, and where those adventures would take him after that. So he's just started penciling pages, and he ended up doing like 22 pages just on his forum, just to do it. Like no contract, nothing, just doing these pages. And he said they were just coming out of the pencil. Like it was just, they were always there waiting for me to draw them again. And the pages look great. I mean, it's like classic X-Men, John Byrne stuff. And he had done a series too. I keep throwing different stuff in here, but he'd done a series too before called X-Men: The Hidden Years. That X-Men only ran up to a certain point with the original team, and then they started doing reprints because the books wasn't selling. And then they did Giant Size X-Men, which introduced Wolverine and Nightcrawler and all these characters. And John Byrne did the series called X-Men: The Hidden Years, which took place in between those two things. It was him penciling X-Men. But this would be, picking up with 136 and those characters at that time. So this starts getting a lot of traction with people online. And C.B. Belusky or whatever his name is, who's the editor at Marvel, saw it and said, we should have a talk about this, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so they had a breakfast together. And now it's being sort of hush-hush. Like people are asking, is it happening? And John Byrne's like, well, it's 50-50 chance of it happening. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen. You'll either see the book or you won't see the book. And then they'll ask him, what are you working on right now? He's like, well, I'm working on a book that I'm not working on, basically.
I see.
Which basically is saying that, hey, I'm doing this book.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of getting this many issues in the can and having the book happen. I cannot wait for this book. I've never been, or I don't remember being this excited about a comic book in quite a while.
Since Death of Superman.
Since Death of Superman.
Yeah.
I am like super, super excited. Like I cannot wait for this book to be officially announced and the first issue to be coming in. Because being excited to read an X-Men book has not happened for me since the Jim Lee X-Men comics. So I'm very excited about this. And I think it's going to outsell the regular X-Men books. I think it's going to sell way better than the regular X-Men books. And it might be a wake-up call to Marvel that people want to get back to the way Marvel was before. Yeah. So I don't know. So that's it. That's all I have.
That's cool.
You got anything else, or you want to jump into this list?
We can jump into the list, but one more movie mention, which is 3 Days of the Condor that I watched.
Condor Man. Yeah.
Condor Man. Yeah.
Disney's Condor Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's cool.
3 Days of the Condor Man, and with Robert Redford, and it's a 70s like Cold War spy movie. But really smartly written, and I just really liked it better than I thought I was going to. So if anybody's into that, they should check it out. And that's all.
Okay, man. All right. Okay, so Toy Fair is happening next week.
You know it is.
We know it is.
We all know it is.
We all know that it's going to.
I had a segue.
Yeah?
One more mention is the NECA Karate Kid figures, the retro style.
Yeah.
Look pretty good.
They look pretty good. They also announced today a Tom Atkins figure. They're doing with Shout Factory doing Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, I saw that.
A special edition Night of the Creeps, and there's going to be retro Tom Atkins in there. I'm down for that because I like Tom Atkins as an actor. He's cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah, those do look good.
They remind me of the old Remco because they have cloth.
They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
Clothes. All
right. So Toy Fair's happening next week, of course, and so we have some dream toy lines, and this whole thing was sparked because Blaze here at the shop, and he asked me what's your like one most wanted toy line right now, and I'm not gonna say it because it's on my list right now. And so it was a little discussion we had back and forth. I'm like, man, I'm sure this list has changed me over the years as things actually happen, like a dream toy, like Ghostbusters the movie actually happened. So that's kind of what prompted us to have this discussion. These are things that I don't think I'm going to see there, but it would be really awesome if it did happen.
Yeah, right? I know nothing that I have here is gonna be.
Well, that's cool. So we'll see what happens. All right, you want to start it off?
Yeah, I'll start it off. My number 5 is Mad Max, and I want it to be NECA. And I think we did similar lists before, and this is the only reason it's number 5 is because I think I mentioned this before.
Yeah,
but that's like a holy grail figure that I don't see why it's not happening. I want it to happen. Well,
Funko announced that they had Mad Max.
Yeah.
Funko Legacy Mad Max. Yeah. And nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
So there's a chance we might see that at Toy Fair.
But
it's not going to be from NECA.
I want NECA to do it.
Yeah, I agree. NECA would do a better job.
They would.
They would do a better job of it, for sure. Number 5 for me is Back to the Future from Diamond Select.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be, all you really need is Marty and Doc.
Yeah.
I'm fine with just Marty and Doc.
That's all you need.
I don't even really need a DeLorean that's in scale with them. It'd be cool if it was, but I really don't need it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have them sitting in it. I would just like to have a Marty and a Doc on my shelf that aren't Hot Toys, that aren't going to cost me $300 each. And I think Diamond Select would do a good job. They load them down with some cool accessories. Yeah. You might be able to. It might be like a build the clock tower pieces like they do with Ghostbusters. Yeah. I think that would be cool. They've shown with Ghostbusters they're not afraid to do like a lesser character that's not as exciting, like Janine or something, where it's not.
Janine is very exciting though.
Yeah, so but you could get Biff, you could get Doc, you could get Marty. They could do multiple ways like they did Ghostbusters, and maybe even do like a build a DeLorean or something. George McFly, I would love that. You could get Marty from the 50s and Marty from the 80s. You could get Biff from the 50s and Biff from the 80s.
And Lorraine.
You can get Lorraine. You can get Doc from the 50s, Doc from the 80s, Doc from Back to the Future Part 2.
Do the future clothes.
I think Diamond Select would kill it at Back to the Future.
They probably would. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's my number 5.
Number 5.
Your number 4.
Number 4 is Brave Star.
Whoa.
And I want it to be done by Funko, the way they're doing their Savage World.
Oh, that'd be fun. Like matching with He-Man. That's a great idea.
And Thundercats. They did their Thundercats.
That's a great idea, He-Man. Man.
Brave Star.
I think a lot of people would have liked Brave Star more back then had it matched He-Man. Yeah. The cartoon looked like He-Man. It was done by Filmation.
Yeah, that's a good-looking cartoon. That's a good cartoon.
It is a good cartoon.
And I liked the figures for it back then, but they were just totally different from anything else that you had. You couldn't play, couldn't interact. But yeah, that's
a great idea, man.
It's an idea that I had when I was coming up with the list.
I love the idea that you came up with for number 4.
Yeah, I had the
When you said that idea, I was like, wow, I love that idea.
I had it. I said it out loud.
You did it. You did it, man.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 is from NECA, Ultimate Paul Kersey, Death Wish 3.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Both of our number 4s are really good.
Well, I would trade my Brave Stars for a Paul Kersey figure.
I want Ultimate Paul Kersey, and it's got to be from Death Wish 3.
Look, if it's Ultimate...
It can come with other stuff.
You have, like, 3 different heads.
Yeah. You could just Ultimate Paul Kersey and just have it cover multiple films.
Yeah.
All it has to be is Ultimate Paul Kersey Death Wish. And you can include stuff from each movie, like the remote-controlled soccer ball.
The remote-controlled soccer ball from Death Wish 5.
The dandruff problem.
Hey, Freddy.
Tons of stuff with there.
I'm going to help you with your dandruff problem.
I would love a Charles Bronson from NECA. I've had my issues with NECA, and I've said some on the show today. But as far as like a one standalone figure, NECA's like, they kill it with just doing an ultimate figure, where it doesn't have to be a huge line. Right. They don't do really, other than Predator and Aliens, they don't do gigantic lines. But like a one-off, like Commando was, or something like that. Man, Paul Kersey.
That's a good one.
I would love a Paul Kersey.
I would trade everything on my list almost just to have that.
Maybe with Movie Maniacs coming back, maybe McFarlane is interested in doing
I would like to see
Paul Kersey. They may do it. I mean, Movie Maniacs is a big question mark right now.
No one seems too keen. I mean, there's not a whole lot of Charles Bronson merchandise coming out.
But I feel like it would sell.
Yeah, it seems like it's ripe for it because there's sort of a comedic factor, but people like to think about later. Those Death Wish films later on were pretty kind of corny, and there's a cult following, and it does seem like it's ready to go.
I think that with McFarlane, even though I prefer NECA to do it, McFarlane's got to be looking at what NECA has, and they're like, okay, NECA's got like all the horror movies. We're not gonna be able to do any of that stuff. So they kind of have to look at other things they could do. And back then they were willing to do things like Snake Plissken and Shaft.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always have to be a horror movie icon. It can be, like a cult classic. Yeah. And Death Wish is a cult classic. So, man, that'd be awesome. Even to see it from McFarlane there. Just to see Paul Kersey at Toy Fair.
It's not on my list, but I wouldn't mind seeing another Snake Plissken too. I
wouldn't mind that either.
A
good Snake Plissken. Yeah. Not a retro style, and not pre-posed like the old Movie Maniacs, but a good Snake Plissken would be awesome. Ultimate Snake Plissken would be cool.
That would be very cool.
All right, so what's your number 3?
Number 3, this isn't going to make any sense maybe, but Sean Connery from Outland. Also NECA.
Okay. Whoa. That's out of nowhere.
It's out of nowhere.
That's Outland.
It's Outland.
That's out of Outland.
It's out there.
Yeah.
But
you went to Outland to find that pick.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's where I got it. Just having rewatched that movie on Blu-ray, I'm just kind of blown away by this movie. I don't know why, but it's like I said, I feel like it rests in the alien world, the world of Alien. It's just Sean Connery. It's Sean Connery. It's
cool, man.
It's just a left field thing that I know I'm never
like a
gonna
left field
I'm never
pick.
gonna see it.
You're never going to see it. That's what this list is about. We don't really think we're going to see it, but man, it would be insane if we did.
I'm picturing him standing there on my shelf.
Picture it right now.
He's got that shotgun. He's got his hat on.
Oh,
He's saying, "It's outer space and you're dead."
Yeah.
That's not one of the lines.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Well, it's something.
My number 3, there's always a chance that this actually could happen. But looking at that Mezco Popeye, Mezco 112th Dick Tracy. Yeah. I'd be down for that.
That could happen, I think.
That could actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 on my list that actually could maybe happen. That's one of them. I mean, that Popeye was so great.
I've never wanted a Popeye anything.
I haven't either,
so bad.
and I want that figure so bad.
Yeah.
And if they did Dick Tracy in that same vein where it's realistic but still capturing that classic look of the character, that would be awesome. And I don't have a good Dick Tracy. Like, I want just a Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
And I don't need the whole line, even though I would love a whole 6-inch Dick Tracy line. That's just, if I just got one Dick Tracy that was really good, I'd be happy. So Mezco was going to do a Dick Tracy figure at one point. It was an actual articulated figure, and it got canceled. So Mezco's done stuff with Dick Tracy before, just like they did a Popeye line in the past that was actual articulated figures. Now he's part of their 112. I could see that somebody there probably likes Popeye and probably likes Dick Tracy, but there's a chance that's going to happen.
Yeah. I
don't think it'll be shown at Toy Fair, but man, it'd be awesome if it was.
That would be awesome. But it could happen. That could happen.
That could happen.
My number 2 is the Breakfast Club.
Whoa, that's not going to happen.
Reaction figure? Well, hey.
Oh, reaction, yes. You're right.
Yes, because
that could happen. You're
right.
They
announced a while back.
I was thinking actual figures, like actual likenesses and NECA type thing.
The reason why I'm okay with this partly is because it's
of the time.
Fun, and it's a little bit more affordable.
It's fun, and it's co.
Yeah.
It's Funko.
It's Funko. But they announced that they had the license for that and 16 Candles, and so far I don't
Bill and Ted.
And Bill and Ted.
Never saw any of them.
Haven't seen anything.
They also said, Evil Dead? Didn't they show Evil Dead and RoboCop?
RoboCop was
They said all those things, and none of those have happened.
So
Rocky's finally happening. They showed those.
Yeah. So maybe those other things are going to happen.
Why does it take so long?
They busted out so many things real quick that honestly I don't think anybody wanted. I mean, they were on top of the Tomorrowland figures.
Yeah. Now these are now Super 7 though. All on their own.
Right.
So Funko was doing them with Super 7.
So that's why.
And they got them out real fast. And then Super 7 doing them on their own is taking forever.
That's why.
It's very slow.
I mean, they're a much smaller company, I think.
I will say that we got in the new Universal Monster ones from Super 7.
Yeah.
We got in the Metaluna Mutant and the who was the other one? The Mummy. And they're so much better than the Funko ones were. Yeah. They're so much better. I was really tempted to grab them because there's a whole new set of Universal Monsters that Super 7 did.
I don't think I've seen those.
They're really nice. I'm assuming they're Super 7 because they're Reaction now.
Okay.
But they're so much nicer. And they're, the other ones had like the picture card backs, like shots from the film of the actors, whatever. And these are like painted art by that Jason Edmiston, I think his name is. I got them up here. Do you want to just come around real quick?
Yeah, I can. I'll look.
Where'd they go? There's the mole people.
Oh,
much better.
Looks great.
It's the mole people. Here's the whole wave: the Mummy, the Wolfman, Metaluna Mutant, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Mole People, and the Phantom of the Opera.
Look at the Phantom down there.
Yeah, they're all really nice, man. And the sculpting's way better on them.
Look at the Metaluna Mutant.
The Metaluna Mutant, I was really, really tempted by. Yeah. Oh, it looks like they've shown car backs for other ones. Like there's a Karloff Frankenstein. So he's coming.
Boris Karloff.
Yeah. So, a step up for sure from what Funko was doing on their own.
So now I don't know if Funko had the license.
Or if it was
Super 7s. It's probably Funko's license. They're probably going to do...
I want to say it was Super 7 that had like the one with RoboCop and Army of Darkness and a bunch of other ones there. But some of those other ones I can't remember.
The other ones were announced a while back.
Yeah.
And with Funko, they were just grabbing up licenses.
Everything. Anything they could do a pop for, they were doing... They were saying
right. So everything was... You could just get pop vinyls and not a figure. So so it might not happen. But anyway.
Mummy. Look at this, man. You got to just look real quick.
It's really good.
That's really cool. Those are awesome.
That makes
look at this guy.
That makes a guy want to buy a mummy.
Look at that guy, man. So yeah, that's cool. And especially if it's Super 7 like this doing them, that'd be much better.
I'd be much better.
I think the best thing that Funko did when they were part of it was the Jaws. The Jaws were really nice.
Yeah.
And it seems like that evolved into what Super 7's doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Super 7 started the alien stuff, and those were nicer than any of the other things.
They were coming off of Kenner designs. Okay.
Your number 2.
My number 2, Hasbro, Black Series style G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Like a 6-inch G.I. Joe line based on the old designs. Not trying to reinvent the wheel, just like the old toy and old cartoon designs done in a 6-inch format. Yep. G.I. Joe has just like, that is just going into the ground, man. They're spinning their wheels on that for so long and just milking it until the very last drop with like the figure subscription services through the Joe Club and just various exclusives. But even that, it's like, it's got to be at the end.
Well, they're still reusing parts they had
for 15
years ago, and
they're like $40 a figure or something like that, where they've gotten it down to just the guys that absolutely will not walk away.
Yeah,
and they're just keep raising the price as the numbers keep going down. It's time for a reset. It's time for something different.
And why not?
The Black Series line sells great. Marvel Legends sells great. 6-inch is the way things are going.
You got that bootleg Snake Eyes?
That was killer.
That was so good.
Such a cool figure, man.
And that was just nobody did that in his living room.
Yeah, totally. Where he just scaled up a 3 3/4 figure.
That's all you got to do.
I would love to see like that retro style packaging incorporated into the, like they did the VOTC, not the VOTC, but the vintage collection, or what was it, 40th anniversary, where they did Black Series on the old school card backs. Like they took a 12 back and sized it up. I'm thinking of like G.I. Joe like that, with those G.I. Joe characters on that hardback, and they can look like they did in the cartoon. I would love that line. I love Joe, and I haven't been able to buy Joe in so long.
Yeah. There's nothing
to buy. I'm not going to buy the figure subscription service. I'm not going to do it. They're doing characters that at that point I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I want the couple first years of Joe as characters in 6-inch. There's always a chance this could happen too. Hasbro has to do something with G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there. So that one's the other one I thought that maybe there's a chance.
Jeez Louise.
What's your number 1, man?
My number 1 on this particular list is 007.
My number 1 is also 007.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so this was a really tough one.
What company before you get?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Is what company, because I can't picture. I had to take into account the sheer volume.
Yeah.
That's going to have to happen, right? So I'm thinking I would like probably 3 3/4 inch figures.
Okay, we're different on this.
I would really like, nice 6 or 7 inch figure, like NECA size. Mm-hmm. But that would be something I would like to see, like one of each Bond in their definitive, in their tux, and that's it. But this, I would like to see maybe 2 packs of the smaller figures where you get a Bond from a movie and that's the villain from a movie. That. Or Bond and one of the Bond girls or something like that. I thought McFarlane toys might be a nice.
That's a good one. I mean, their Star Treks are really good.
Their Star Treks are good.
Their Stranger Things are really good.
The Stranger Things are good. They're back when they were doing the Prince of Persia figures were really nice, and I think we talked about quality control as far as plastic breaking wasn't very good, but that might be solved for them now. And another possible company was Corgi.
Okay.
Because they had the license.
That's right.
And they were going to do this line, a 3 3/4 inch James Bond line. It was from Britain, so it makes sense. But they did the Golden Compass figures, and those were really nice. Fun. And that was the time they did that, and they said, okay, we have 007.
We were both very excited, and that didn't happen.
And it
didn't happen.
How could it not happen? You got the rights to do it, and you didn't do it. You're Corgi. You've been around forever.
You should be able to do it.
Should do it.
So I didn't go that route. My number 1 is James Bond.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, 6 or 7 inch figures. And even though I've used this company once already, I said Diamond Select.
Okay, yeah.
Because the way they did Ghostbusters was 3-figure waves. And I would love to see James Bond done as 3-figure waves, one based on each movie, where you get that Bond from that movie, the villain, and the Bond girl.
That's a good idea.
And you could do build of things, or you can just do environments, whatever you want to do with the whole thing. But you can almost just follow what Big Chief is doing with the 1/6 scale line, where for like Goldfinger, you got Goldfinger, You got Bond, and even that one had Odd Job. You get kind of that iconic look from that movie and the villain, and then either a Bond girl or the henchman, whatever is more appealing in figure form.
Yeah.
But they could do it in waves, and they could jump around from movies. They don't have to do it in a set number. Do Dr. No first, and then do this and do this. You could jump all around to that way. You're not stuck with 5 Connerys in a row.
Yeah.
And then moving on to another character or something. Where you can go Connery and then do.
How about Dalton?
Do Timothy Dalton and then jump down back to Roger Moore and then do another Connery wave and then jump to Pierce Brosnan and then jump to another Roger Moore. I would love that. That'd be an awesome line. And they've shown they can do good, really solid likenesses. The price point is good for 7-inch from Diamond Select. They do a really good job of keeping their prices at the right level. It's easy to get them. It's not like a struggle to get Select figures. And their suit bodies are usually really good.
Yeah.
Like they're a good build. Yeah. They're not overly articulated to the point where it ruins the look of the suit. I would go Diamond Select.
That's a good
James
idea.
Bond 007 line from Diamond Select would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That's cool. We both had that as number 1.
That is cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's been a long time.
And especially for being like just pick whatever you want out of the air for a toy line. It's been a long time.
You could pick it out of your butt.
You pick it out of a butthole.
Just if you wanted to.
Get it out of there.
Pull it up.
That's cool. So this is cool though, and this truly we did not compare our lists.
Yeah,
we did not talk about our lists. But the cool thing about this too is that we discussed what we would do next episode.
Yeah. As
a themed episode, and we had 3 choices. And this is, I think, before either one of us wrote our lists even.
Yeah, I hadn't put this on there yet.
We discussed, we're going to talk about a movie series, and we had discussed doing Aliens, Back to the Future, or the James Bond series, which the James Bond series we hadn't actually written down, I don't believe. Yeah. And that spun out of the live stream that the James Bond thing happened. So when we got those 3, and we both were like, well, we'll do James Bond.
And coincidentally, they all Netflix has them now.
Netflix has some.
They don't have all of them.
They don't have all of them. Okay. And Amazon Prime has some.
Okay.
So if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch some of them. If you can watch Netflix, you can watch some of them. I don't think either of them has Dr. No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think that Amazon Prime starts with From Russia with Love, and I think that Netflix starts with Goldfinger.
That's weird.
It's very odd. It's either have them all or have none of them. But either way, you can get multiple Bonds through the streaming service right now. Yeah. Like if you just want to watch a Timothy Dalton one, I think License to Kill is on Amazon Prime, but it doesn't have The Living Daylights. Yeah. I don't think, at least. It's weird. They have odd picks.
Yeah.
For them. We're going to discuss the whole film series.
It's going to be
next episode.
I think it's going to be good. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. In that we've done big episodes before. We've discussed like all the Marvel movies. This is possible to do.
Oh, it's totally possible.
All the Bond films. We'll spend some time on some where it's a very quick, just talk about, this is this one, and it's not that great. A lot of the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Yeah.
And then more time on others.
Anyway, we're looking forward to it.
It should be fun.
Hope you're looking forward to it.
Maybe we'll do it as a live stream. I don't know. That one might be fun to do live stream on.
Could be.
Who knows?
We'll wear our tuxes.
We'll wear our tuxes. We'll have martinis.
I did have some runners up.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. One would be Cops, the cartoon.
Yeah,
from Hasbro.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe's size. Another one would be Stallone Cobra from NECA.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then this one is always on all of my lists because it's ridiculous it hasn't happened, and it's Jonny Quest. And I really would like Jazzwares to do it.
That would be awesome.
Because they did
all those
really good with the other Hanna-Barbera ones.
What about those the Miko style ones? Do you not care about those?
They're okay.
They're not bad.
I almost got them, but they don't.
And it kind of fits for the time it came out.
It totally fits the time it came out. But they're just not there.
Yeah.
They're just, I almost broke down and got them.
Almost broke down and bought the Jonny Quest.
It looks like the plastic might be a little bit cheap on them.
I will say I saw their my friend Leonard ordered their Super Friends sets.
Yeah.
And they're really nice. Like he had them in person. I looked at them. The head sculpts are really cool. And the way they do their paint on them is really nice. It makes it look like animation.
Okay.
So those were pretty nice.
Okay.
I think they're doing a way better job than the actual Mego figures are. The Mego figures look cheap. Mm-hmm. These don't look cheap.
Okay.
So Take that as you will. Take that as you
will. I might break down into it, but it's not.
Maybe just get Jonny Quest.
It's just not what I wanted.
It's not what you wanted, but beggars can't be choosers.
I can get Jonny Quest, but I'm gonna leave Race hanging out there.
You're not gonna leave Race hanging out there. You're gonna get them all. Yeah. Mine was Mask.
Yeah.
And I left it off the list because, I mean, there's always a chance it could come back.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to be treated right by Hasbro right now if it did come back. It wouldn't be what I want it to be. And looking back at the old Mask toys, they're still pretty darn great. Like I don't think they're going to top those.
I'd be happy with just reissues.
I'd be fine with reissues too.
Do different colors if you want to, whatever.
If you want, yeah. But I'm sure those molds are gone.
I love that size of figure. Yeah.
But looking at that toy line, I trying to think, could they improve on this?
I don't think so.
And right now, I don't think Hasbro could. I don't think that they could. I don't think they would do a better job than Kenner did back then. There's certain lines that you look back at and you're like, okay, Thundercats, that can be improved on. Those are going to get better. Mask is pretty great the way it is, those old figures. So that's why I left it off the list.
Oh, I have one more, and this is, I don't know who all cares about this, but I want like a Legends of Alternative Rock line or something like that. Like, okay. You know, it's like you start
Bush.
Like Bush.
Favorite.
Yeah. Of course I want some you know, I want Pixies from their heyday.
You want all the versions of Gavin from Bush.
Some Joy Division and stuff, but there's not a whole lot of music figures. That somebody did the who did that Freddie Mercury.
That was NECA. NECA did Freddie Mercury.
Did NECA do that? Okay. Somebody else did one too. Has got another one. And they look good, but I just don't want a Queen.
Oh, you're talking about the really articulated one? That was like that was
Figure Arts. Figure Arts.
So Figure Arts did him and NECA did him too.
Right.
And then McFarlane did some back in the day. They did Kurt Cobain.
So back in the day, McFarlane did those, and I had McFarlane actually to do a newer line.
Yeah.
Too,
the way he does things now.
But these guys are now becoming legendary because they spawned all of modern music.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Spawn McFarlane.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that's
cool, man.
It could be cool. But that's just me.
And who cares what you think, really?
And who cares what I think, really? Exactly.
All right, so is that everything?
That's it.
We're close to the hour mark now.
It's time to
wrap this up.
It's time to wrap it up.
It's time to quit playing games. Wrap this up. All right, so in 2 weeks, hopefully in 2 weeks, I know we've been going a little off schedule lately. It's been busy times. Hopefully in 2 weeks, we'll do the Bond episode, and maybe we'll do it as a live stream. If we do, we'll announce it beforehand, just like we did the last time.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. We will.
All right. Cool. We'll sign off. See you guys. Oh, yeah.
Quit playing games with my heart.
I won't.
Don't do it.
How you gonna turn it?
Baby.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.